Hi, Michael here, half in the light and half in the shadows. Today I want to talk about sharing DNA and common ancestors. I want to show you how I'm doing in my genealogy research. I'm going to my dad's DNA test and I'm going to click someone who I don't know how we're related to, and I'm going to see the amount of DNA that we share. There's 124 Centimorgans. Centimorgan is just a measurement of DNA, and so I can take this information and I can figure out the range of relationships that we could possibly share. And I use this chart, the shared CM project. CM stands for Centimorgans, and it was made by Blaine T. Bettinger. Bettinger collects data from people of known relationships, so those people in unknown relationships can get a better guess at what is truly going on. Bettinger's quest for truth and clarity is really something I admire. If two cousins who know their cousins both take the DNA test, they report their shared Centimorgan number, so other cousins who don't know each other can have a better understanding of how they are related and who their most recent common ancestor is. This table shows data from people who know their third cousins. Its equal interval looks slightly like a fishtail. The range on this graph allows for a wide berth. I recall J.G. Perry shares 124 Centimorgans with my dad. Were she his third cousin, her Centimorgans would be well above the average. And if she is the third cousin, they would share great-great-grandparents. Back to Bettinger's glorious chart. The bottom of this chart contains boxes of common family relationships and their corresponding shared Centimorgans, averages, and range. Boxes will fade like magic if the number I insert here is out of range, and I am going to type in J.G. Perry's number. The exciting thing about this is that it shows that my dad, in less than 7 generations, has at least one common ancestor with J.G. Perry. That would be his great-great-great-grandparent, or third great-grandparent. I'm going to start saying stuff like third great-grandparent instead of great-great-great-grandparent. This makes it easier to track all their greatness. J.G. Perry seems to be on the same generation as my dad, so if I want to rule out any additional family relations, then I can eliminate great aunts and uncles, as well as family relations that are twice or thrice removed. I'll play it conservative and keep the once removed generations. Don't mind my use of MS Paint. What is left? The nearest is a half first cousin, once removed, and the most distant is a fourth cousin. If we look closer at the numbers, particularly averages, the second cousin, once removed, has almost the same average as J.G. Perry's shared Centimorgans with my dad. The implications are that if I believe that ranges on this chart are absolute, then the furthest that I would ever have to look on J.G. Perry's family tree is the third great-grandparent generation. But Bettinger doesn't include outliers in his ranges, so I want to look at the fourth and fifth cousin trends. On the fourth cousin histogram, less than 1% of all observations are near or above 124 Centimorgans. On the fifth cousin histogram, the highest observation is between the intervals of 94 and 103. That is somewhat encouraging. 124 Centimorgans would be a freakishly high amount for a fifth cousin. To finish my exploration of the shared CM project, I have to say Bettinger can't account for inbreeding or other ways where people share more than one unique line. We're done with this. My next task is to look at JG's family's tree and match it up with mine. Hopefully I will stretch my family tree back to someone cool. You have to pay $50 to peek at shared member family trees. The majority of my shared matches don't have family trees, and it's nice to work with J.G. Perry's tree because she has her parents listed on them. She has traced some of her ancestors to the 7th generation, but I see there's a lot of work that she can do. In the 3rd generation we see William McKinley Garrett. His mother and grandmother are named Jeannie, married name Garrett. She is the daughter of a Woodward and a Martin. Interesting. I decided to research this. My research took some twists and turns, and soon before I knew it, I was researching who William McKinley Garrett's wife was. And his wife is Dorothy M. Howard, and she has a full family tree. If you look at family search, it looks like Dorothy's maternal grandmother is Mary Freshwater. That last name is not familiar, but it is the key to unlocking how I'm related to J.G. Perry. Since her name was not on my radar, I had to use a special method to establish the connection. J.G. Perry and I share matches. Some of her people are related to me. If I find the common factor, then I'll know how I'm related to her. So I'm going to look at these matches, and I'm going to pick Somberstone. I'm going to run my background check on Somberstone. He could be a 2nd to 8th cousin. With the averages, he's likely to be a 4th cousin. When I look at Somberstone's family tree, I see a familiar sight. Somberstone and J.G. Perry have the same line. They're like 2nd cousins once removed, so this narrows down the search a bit. Am I related to the Blacks or the Freshwaters? Maybe both. I can search shared matches for last names, but not many have family trees. I type in Freshwater and I only get one result. I type in Black and I only get the same result. Upon close examination, Patty is Silverstone's first cousin. That's why both Blacks and Freshwater are in her trees. She shares 28 fewer shared Centimorgans with my dad than Somberstone. I might share some matches with Patty that I don't see with Somberstone. Let's check it out. Type in Freshwater. Only J.G. Perry is lost, which is expected. If you recall, J.G. Perry, Patty, and Somberstone have Mary Freshwater as ancestors. S.W. and J.E. don't have Mary Freshwater. S.W. has Mary's grandfather and J.E. has Mary's dad. I'm going to look for the last name Freshwater in the match directory. Somberstone might be related to some Freshwater who don't even share his DNA. I type in Freshwater and look at every result. There are 11 results here. The only near cousins we have not seen so far is W Screen. Is he related to our hero, J.G. Perry? Let's do some shaking and baking. Related to Janet? Alright. Janet is related to J.G. Perry. Good. I made a chart on how all these names that show up when I search Freshwater, how they're all related. The information in this chart is the result of hundreds of hours of research from Ancestry and Family Search. All of them are descendants of Thomas Freshwater, a man who lived in Richmond, Virginia between 1700 and 1755. I think I can safely say I'm a descendant of Thomas Freshwater. His son, Reuben, I give an 85% chance of descendancy. To George, 60% chance. And to Mary, 25%. I base all of this on the shared Centimorgans and the family trees that I was able to uncover. I was surprised to learn that I have freshwaters in my family tree. I don't know how they fit in because solid conclusions is hard to come by. J.G. Perry shares enough Centimorgans to be a third cousin, but research on her relatives was not convincing enough to justify so close a relationship. I feel though that I have made progress with my family history, even though I can't place the fresh waters yet. Thank you for watching me try to bring light into the shadows.